guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go ahead and do another one of the start of the year top 10s. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at free-to-play units. Now this list is definitely changing a lot from last year, right? I think that this year, a lot of these sort of like free-to-play EZA units have been really quite good. I think a lot of the free-to-play LR EZAs have been done in a very good manner, which allows a lot of them to be pretty effective units across a lot of content. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start with the LR Shadow Dragon Army right here. Now, this unit, right, I actually think is really impressive. So I did want to get them on this list because they're very good. But the problem, as of right now, is that this is a GT Bosses support type unit, and GT Bosses is dead, and Shadow Dragon Saga is dead. And for this unit to really be at their best, you want to run them with, like, another Shadow Dragon. So it's like running them on Join Forces is not really the thing. So it's like, I do feel a bit icky having them on this list, because it's not a character you're really going to be using that much, but if they would just make, like, GT Bosses a legitimate team, which would really only take two things. That's a Dokkan Fest baby. Just any baby that's a Dokkan Fest exclusive. On the level of, like, Kid Buu, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the androids, and boom, we're cooking, right? And then also give us, like, an LR Omega Shenron, who's, you know, one of the top 10 best units in the game. All we need that, and GT Bosses can legitimately be competitive. And this unit, despite being just a free-to-play battlefield unit, actually I think would be quite the nice addition, and quite good, you know, again, for a free-to-play unit. The only real thing about this unit I really am not the biggest fan of would be their active skill, which is just, it's terrible. You can only do this starting from the 7th turn, and it's a debuff. Like, this is a super battle road ability. In truth, when you're using this unit, the only real effect you're going to get from their active skill is going to be the 7 key, because you're not going to be using this character in an event on turn 7 where you're going to be able to take advantage of this. This is worthless. This should have been an active skill that you could use whenever you want, and that would have helped this character out quite a bit. But again, they're very, very highly limited. All right, next we're going to go ahead and bring in LR B-Pan. I think LR B-Pan has a fantastic EZA. She gives herself key, she's got the healing, she has damage reduction, she has stunning, she still has her active skill. Her link set is working a little bit better with the current core of, like, the hybrid Saiyan team. I think Saiyan lineage is a huge thing. There's some units in there that'll have all in the family as well. You know, she can have a lot of defense built up, she gets a lot of stats overall from a lot of these links in here. I've found LRB Pan to be a pretty competitive, difficult content unit. And especially, you guys know, I do like to give extra bonus points to characters that are really good in Super Battle Road. I definitely feel like Super Battle Road stages are harder to get done than, like, a lot of, like, long event content and stuff like that, like the Legendary Vegeta event and stuff. And B-Pan is able to provide, I think, a lot to the team. So she's able to perform pretty well. She does also super attack early, too. So her 18 key super attack, I believe she can do at 15 key. Does this say? Yeah, 15 key right there. And then she could do her 12 key super attack at 9 key, which is pretty good. All right. So next, we're going to go ahead and bring in LR Mercenary Tao. Now, Tao, like the LR Shadow Dragons, man, Tao is very difficult to sort of assess. This is like, I feel like Tao, like and Trunks and Goten have got some similarities in that. I feel like they're very powerful units, but it's just hard to slot them into teams. I think their link sets will hurt them on their teams. There are just definitely some certain negatives there. Another thing about Tao is a lot of these are not like real teams, right? It's like you could definitely run Tao on the Sworn Enemy team, LR Full Power Frieza's team, but like Target Goku is dead. Like Earthling, is that a real team? No. Dragon Ball Saga is not a real team. Dragon Ball Seekers, I think, has had a lot of buffs, but it should be fairly obvious that this Tao just doesn't really have a great place to run. I would say Sworn Enemy is really the only, like, actual consistently run team, and one of the reasons because that's led by one of the top 2 best units in the game, an LR Full Power Frieza, right? But even among that team full of Friezas and Cells and Boos and stuff like that, Tao doesn't necessarily work the best. But I think they did do a good job of designing him to be very crazy outside of his limited teams and his wonky link set. Because, I mean, he has the UI Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta crit mechanic, right, which is good. He's giving himself attack and defense on his super attack effects. He gets so many buffs per orb, as well as getting, you know, the LR Gohan mechanic of additional ki per ki orb. So that does work out pretty good. He does also have an active skill, but I feel like his active skill condition is pretty shitty. I mean, HP 50% or less after he gets hit 3 or more times. That's kind of a weird one. Because, like, these, like, HP threshold conditions, a lot of times, again, it's another thing where I'm thinking of them in Super Battle Road, like, could you potentially chain it? Because, like, the thing with, like, STR Spirit Bomb Goku, right, the Blue Kaioken Goku, is you just have to be under that HP threshold with the reps of Universe 7 members. But you could, like, go into the second fight of Super Battle Road, and you could pop the Spirit Bomb right away. You can then go into the third fight in Super Battle Road and pop the Spirit Bomb right away. But, like, Tao's active skill is not something you're able to do. And it does suck, because it would be nice if it was only the HP condition, because he does have a guaranteed stun right there. Again, very powerful for Super Battle Road. But again, that shows you that this is intended to be a Super Battle Road ability for sure. Tao is good, but again, he just has some sort of flaws. A character like this, like when they're going to release like Tao or Mighty Mask or something like that in the future, I mean, I know people eyes are going to roll into the back of their skull so fast, but like orb changing support, man, you got to do it. Like you can't, you know, you could make a Saiyan, like, dude, if this was Super Saiyan 1 Goku with this passive, he'd be a god, right? Because he'd have Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Prepared for Battle, Experienced Fighters, shit like that. That like all these Saiyan teams are running, and he'd be on all these Saiyan teams, Pure Saiyan, Super Saiyan, Goku family, shit like that, right? So, Tao has a great kit, but they could have helped him out a little bit more. All right, next is 2000 Day Goku. This is the only unit pretty much on like any of these lists we're covering that I do not have. I'm not yet at 2000 days logged in. I have used him a couple of times, so he's just very impressive. One thing I really like about him too is this little defensive buff he gives for 2 turns. That's very impactful. He's got the healing and just a lot of overall damage and defense he's getting from key orbs. I think that his defense is probably starting to taper off a little bit, which is why I definitely feel more comfortable with him being, you know, sort of on the lower end of this list now. I think All in the Family is very important for him at this stage. The healing is cool too, but again, I've found healing to be much more impactful if it's on a team full of healers. So, like, if you're going to run the Spirit Bomb Goku and you have other... So, like, maybe if you're running a Buu Saga team and you are running, like, SCR Kid Buu along with, like, Buuhan, and then maybe you've got this Goku on the team and stuff like that certainly could work, right? He is very good, but, again, he certainly has aged a bit. I guess one thing that is unfortunate is he gives this buff for 2 turns, but then this buff is only for 1 turn, right? That's... I guess that's what's unfortunate. Because this is so nice, like... This 2-turn defensive buff is very helpful. The defensive buff to the whole rotation is pretty good, especially when it's 2 turns, right? All right, so there's 2000 Day Goku. Next, we have Int Captain Ginyu. I am, like, stunned. This guy is so good. Like, Super Battle Road, most difficult content. This dude goes in there, and he has got a lot of defense for the amount of damage reduction that this guy has, right? This Ginyu can look very, very good. He also does have seals, which of course is a very powerful ability, again, in Super Battle Road, being able to keep and prevent the enemy from super attacking. He's on some Super Battle Road stages, right? Planet Namek Saga recently got a Super Battle Road stage, so did Special Pose, right? So, like, there's a couple of different places where this guy can really dominate. And then Space Traveling Warriors and Terrifying Conquerors will get him in the future. And this Ginyu will be a great option to potentially run. This Ginyu is very good. Just a very, very good free-to-play easy A unit. I think they did a tremendous job with him. All right, next we have Yardrat Goku. I feel like you potentially could put Ginyu in front of Yardrat Goku. Actually, should I? Because he's got his defense, he's got his stunning. It's hard to say. I probably no. I think I'm gonna keep Yardrat Goku here because it's like, um, Yardrat Goku performs very well in Super Battle Road. Although he could get killed by super attacks for sure. Um, this guy is devastating against normal attacks. Even in Pure Saiyan Extreme Super Battle Road, this guy is double-digit tanking. This guy type disadvantage in the God event is double-digit tanking, but he can't take super attacks. That's the one thing. But it'll completely shut down enemy normal attacks. He is a character that has counters, but again, this is not an LR character with counters. This is a free-to-play easy ATUR, right? At 13,000 attacks. See, the difference between, like, this guy and, like, you know, STR Vegito, who has 20,000 attack, is a huge difference for, like, how much damage this guy is doing with his counters and stuff. But I think that this guy is really good. He's got the stun for Super Battle Road as well. I've found this guy to be a tremendous Super Battle Road option. The only thing that's really, I guess, unfortunate for this guy is there is now multiple Super Saiyan Gokus who are incredible and fulfill the same role. This guy and Heart Virus Goku basically fill the same role, except Heart Virus Goku is better, right? And then, of course, we have LR Namek Goku as well. So they dropped a bunch of really good Super Saiyan Gokus in the tail end of 2021. All right, so next we have First Form Frieza. I think First Form Frieza is turning into one of the better aging units in the game's history, honestly. I think First Form Frieza is actually still tremendous. This is a big reason. This is a free-to-play unit with an A+ Z tier link set right here. On all these major villain teams, First Form Frieza still has a godly link set. And one thing that's really keeping this Frieza relevant is this right here. They very smartly, very wisely gave him his buffs either as the first attacker in the turn or as the third attacker in the turn. So he is comfortably working very well as a floating unit while having these crazy links, being on a lot of teams, a lot of relevant villain teams too, right? You know, so this guy is good. This guy's aging well. You get his 12 key super attack, he's getting another 50% defense. He could greatly lower attack on his 18 key. Again, I think this First Form Frieza is aging really gracefully. He's still very good. Okay, so now we get to the top three. Just like the banner units list, I feel like there's various arguments you can make for which one of the top three is in, like, what spot. I think all three of these units are very good. Let's just look at all three. So I've got it right now. We've got the physical Goku, we have the androids, and then we have Roshi at 1, is how I decided to go with this. Now, I guess let me talk about this and try and explain this. So, real quick, the thing with Roshi, and the reason I like him as number 1, is because he still does everything, right? You have your 70% chance to stun right there. You have your seal. He has dodge. He's a support for Turtle School, so that's every Goku in the game. And then, of course, he also has got the revive as well. He does have an active skill, although it's a very shitty active skill. It's very difficult to get this, I've found, to work. Because this is a dodging character that has to get hit 7 times. So it's pretty uncommon, again, I found, where you are actually going to be getting this Roshi to be activating that active skill, right? Then, of course, his link set, I mean, is certainly not the craziest, but he's on a lot of category teams, and he can impact a lot of stages. Now, for sure, if you take LR Master Roshi into a long event, Legendary Vegeta event, or something like that, he's going to get cooked unless you're going to revive with him. His defense is not high enough, and dodge gets nullified, and then the seal and the stunning does not work. So, again, this is more so a Super Battle Road unit than like a Legendary Vegeta event unit and stuff like that, right? But I feel like all of the utility that this guy is bringing is why I put him at 1. He just does literally everything. Now, the androids, I guess let's just go back to 3 and talk about Goku. This Goku is ridiculously good. He's able to put up really nice attack stats. His defense is very, very strong, and he's a universal support, which is really, really powerful. I have found that he definitely can struggle for ki, right? Like, if you're just putting him on, you know, some of these Saiyan teams, he certainly can work well, but he's definitely going to struggle for ki, because one thing this guy does not have is he does not have prepare for battle, which does hurt. I don't know why they didn't give that to him. Honestly, like, they could have gotten rid of experienced fighters. They could have gotten rid of Z fighters, one of these. They could have just given him prepare for battle, and I think he would have been quite... if he had prepare for battle instead of Z fighters, that would help him out a lot. Because, again, if you're not attacking an extreme class enemy, ki is definitely going to be an issue for him. But his defense is just so much better than Roshi, right? Although Roshi's got the revive and the dodge. But just, like, defensive stat... Roshi just doesn't even come close to what this Goku is putting up, right? This guy is getting multiple hundreds of thousands as far as a defensive stat goes. So this Goku can look very good. He has an active skill as well. I mean, honestly, if we let's just directly compare it to Roshi. Unlike Roshi, who's you don't see ever, Goku's, you just got to get to turn 5, which is not great, but at least you can see it. Whereas, dude, Roshi's is insane. Like, this is so tough to do. 7 hits while he's a dodging character is not easy to get done. So there's Goku right here. Now, the androids. These two are nasty. Again, multiple hundreds of thousands of defense. They're able to put up really big attack stats. They definitely do look a lot better when they're attacking superclass enemies, but I mean, as you guys know, the superclass enemies, I think, are way more they're so much more common than extreme class enemies, and especially the way, like, a lot of these, like, villain categories, stuff like that, you're gonna end up going up against superclass enemies more so than extreme class enemies. So I do like the androids as a number 2 unit. They're pretty basic, but they're also a support type unit. All these units are support. These top 3 are all supports. I like giving these like top tier free to play units these support abilities to help them out. I think that's a lot better. That's a better way for Dokkan to go about it than just try and have top tier free to play units just be damaged. It's not gonna... Free to play units are never gonna be quite matching up to summonable units in terms of, like, damage. Although honestly, these two kind of do. And, like, Roshi, you know, if you get his big 18 key super attack, he could get up into the 6 million range, right? It's not like he can't get up there. But I think all 3 of these guys are just, like, very impressive units for a lot of their teams. Again, I probably put Roshi at 1, and now that I've sort of explained my thoughts on it, I do feel comfortable keeping it like this. Roshi 1, the androids at 2, Goku at 3. One thing you could say between Goku and the androids, right, for sure, is that Goku is definitely on probably some stronger teams, like Pure Saiyan, Goku Family, Kamehameha. Bond of Friendship and Accelerated Battle are both very good categories. Especially Accelerated Battle. This the new Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the physical one, he's got one of the best leader skills in the game, like top 5 or something like that. And this Goku would work really well in that team because, again, Goku's support is universal. It's not like Saiyans or something like that. Because, like, you know, the androids are buffing Extreme Class, and then Roshi is buffing Turtle School, right? So Goku's is universal, and he's on some teams like Accelerated Battle and Kamehameha where you could use a variety of characters. Prepare for battle, over in a flash, potentially villain characters. So that could be good. I think you easily could put Goku at number 2. But I feel like you could easily make... You could make a pretty strong case for Goku even at 1. I think the top 3 are better than Frieza. But, I mean, even Frieza... I mean, his link set just generates so much power for him, honestly. And then the fact he could run him as a floater is very helpful. But there we go. I definitely do feel comfortable about this. A couple of these units down here are pretty solid. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 are probably the unit I would have at 11. This Trunks, he's a bit disappointing. He could be a bit better. He's a little bit disappointing, though. But let me know what you guys think of the top free-to-play units. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.